Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to see about how to create a Linux VM on Azure. What are the things you have to remember while creating Linux VM in Azure? So what are the properties Linux VM having? So what are the things we have to look on to things by the way creating a Linux VM in Azure? So don't skip any bit in this video, so watch till end so that you will don't miss any important things. And if you haven't have watched the previous videos like creating a Windows VM on Azure, and we have seen what are the cloud computing concepts, and we have made a video of Microsoft Azure portal walkthrough, and all the things we have discussed in previous videos. So watch those videos before you are getting into these videos. So in the previous videos we have deal then talked about the different types of things and concepts, so that will help you before getting started into this Linux VM on Azure. So watch those videos. So visit my website and go to the playlist of Microsoft Azure tutorial and check the videos. So next, watch this video till end, don't skip any part. So before getting started, one important point: if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon below to get notified each time when we upload a new related technical video or any Azure related concept videos. So you'll never miss any update of ours if you click on the bell icon. So don't forget to click on the bell icon, subscribe, and so let's get started. So in this video, we are going to create in one virtual machine, which is you want to get virtual machine service in Azure portal. You can go through this where you have the favorites, in which defaultly we have this Azure machine. We can go to create and you can create. If you have already created virtual machine, then that list will be seen here. So if you want to create new resource, you can go and create new resource. For example, if the virtual machine is not in the favorite list, if you want, then you can search for the virtual machine. Then you will get this virtual machines where we have this option as the create is the one option we have. You already created virtual machine also there in here. We have after creating you will get like this. So before creating virtual machine, you have to know what the things related to virtual machine, right? So for every virtual machine, either maybe Windows or Linux, you will have all these properties associated with it. Like additional components will be required for that. Basically, virtual machine is an infrastructure service as a IaaS service which has no physical servers for this and no hardware. You can easily create your virtual machine because Azure is providing all the data centers for the Azure by default. You can just no need of physical things any here and no need of hardware also. So low cost, and you can create your virtual machine on your own with a single simple steps. So after VM is deployed, other things also will be there, like virtual network is will be there for every virtual machine, and for subnets will be there, and network interface will be there. This network interface will not be many, like for one virtual machine you will have only one VM, not more than one. So one virtual machine don't have two VMs. So virtual machine not have two network interfaces. Okay, you for example, if you have created one virtual machine, you can't even move your virtual machine from one network to another network. That is also not possible. So if you have created one virtual network, you can use that virtual interface or network for this particular virtual machine. That thing is possible. So these are the things which you have to know before creating any virtual machine. Like it will have a network interface which will give you public IP address and private IP address. And next we have subnets, and we should have the network in VNet, that is virtual network for any virtual machine. So in that virtual machine, we are now we have a one OS and we have a data set. Like disks we have, that is I maybe managed disk or maybe unmanaged disk we have. And next we have a temporary storage which is of SSD or HDD. So based upon what the requirements you want, you can select those things. And next we also have a diagnostics logs where you have to have a storage account to list of all those logs. So these things are related to Azure. Like this is the article where we have to know about things before getting started or creating any Azure group, Azure virtual network. So for first, before creating virtual network, you have to know about a resource group. So what this resource group means, a resource group is generally a local container, we can say, that holds these Azure resources. For example, if you're creating any virtual machine or any resource under this particular Azure group which you have already created, so that will help us to create your billing purposes easy, and to track your billing cost easy under the all the things. And you can also have all the related items at a single point. So this resource group already have some resource groups. For example, if you want to delete this resource group, then you can delete that resource group by using that button. So all the resources which are under the resource group will be deleted at the same time. That is one of the advantage of using resource group. So by either deleting one thing, you can directly delete. Now I am having this things particular virtual machine. If you are creating one virtual machine, then all the related things will come defaultly because you are selecting and getting that properties while we are making any virtual machine. We have selected Linux, virtual network, and disks are of this type, and network interface we have public IP address we have created, and network interface security group we have created. These are all related things which comes under with a virtual machine. As we discussed in this diagram, all the things should be important while creating virtual machine. So if you are going to give any prepare anything like buying anything, what we'll see about properties, what it is giving, the OS will be how, and what are the disks it is having. So any virtual machine should be having these properties. Like selecting those properties is one task while we are creating that virtual machine, right? So let's go into lab and create one virtual machine of Linux. So how the things we have to select we'll going to see in this lab. So I'm not having any active subscription now, so I'm using a disabled subscription. Just as I'm not creating anything, I'm just giving a glance of how the labs can be done, how you can select the values, what are the possibilities you will have, and what will the things we are going to ask for while creating a virtual machine. We are going to see that things now in this video. I'm not creating anything, so I'm not having any active subscription right now. So these things we have to remember. One is resource group, which we can create your virtual machine under that particular resource group. So that will help you to delete that resource group. All the items related that virtual machine will be deleted at a time. So creating virtual machine can be of different types, so that we'll see in the coming few minutes. And next, coming to disk, we have to select, and one thing networking things we have to select, like we have signature network interface and public IP address, NSG network security groups. Operations, we have diagnostics, availabilities, backups, and stopping a VM, and deleting a VM. Cost consider should be on the stopping of VM, deleting a VM, or on the shutdowning of a VM. For example, if you shut down your VM after opening that VM, then that will cost you partially. It will not stop your VM permanently. Just shutdowning means you are stopping at particular instant. That will not permanently stop it. So your temporary data will be restored if you again on your system. So likewise, deleting after creating any virtual machine, deleting is nothing. Stopping is deleting is nothing, but it will delete all the resources. So that will not cost. After deleting, you have one more thing that is called as stopping that virtual machine. By stopping that virtual machine, your local data will be erased on your device, like any D drive, anything. And next, shopping of that will cost you nothing, like it will not cost you anymore. So internally what will happen means it will the rack of the service will be deleted if you stop that particular VM. So these things we have to remember, coming to cost considerations, and based upon the subscription level as we go, or what are the things you have selected, that depends upon this things, and it will give the cost considerations. And security is the one more thing we have to look after creating this VM. So these are the things before you have to know before creating a VM. Let's go to the lab and give a things like how it can be done. So in the subscription, I have to select one subscription. If you have any active subscription as pay as you go, or you're having any free account subscription, you can choose that, and you can create a new resource group. If you are having a previous resource group, you can also use that resource group, or you can also create a new resource group of the name. Just name is enough, and you can give the virtual machine name, like what the virtual machine you want, like Ubuntu VM or Linux VM, or you can give region. Region should specified as based upon your pay cost, like based upon region to region the cost may differ. So select the region which is having low cost for that, and based upon the policies or any thing you have. So based upon the region you have to select. Next, availability options, where I will have the availability set. Automatically distribute your VMs across multiple fault devices. It will distribute your VMs to multiple fault domains, and update domain. So create that availability set. You will ask you for how many fault domains you want, how many default fault update domains you want. Coming to fault domains, what is meant by fault domain means, fault domain is nothing but it will automate your VM. So it will automate your VM. When it will automate your VM, like while creating a VM will be like allocate a new separate space or server to that VM. If your VM is a fault, then it will give a separate space for your VM. So that is nothing but fault domains. That will give two domains like that. For update domains, you will have what is meant by, like when your VM is previously created and with having a domain server that is restarted or any destroyed, like VM may be destroyed or restarted or rebooted. So at that time it will should need another VM at that time at that place to create any to avoid any disturbances. So at that time it will create another VM. So that is not by update domains. So how many update domains you want? Five, and the default fault domains will be two. Like that you can select that your domain and you can give the name of that availability set. So that way you can create. So availability set is nothing but like how much time that your service will be available, right? Availability is nothing but, so that availability is nothing but availability of percentage of time of service that is available. So availability set means the logical feature that will ensure that the group of related VMs are deployed. Like if any failure, what is the backup, like that you will have two things right here while selecting the availability set: fault domain and update domain. Fault domain is nothing but at the level of racks. Like if one VM is a failure, then you will have like two racks, or like fault domain, how many fault domain you will have that type of backup things if one thing is failure. Next, coming to update domain, what means availability set at the level of data centers. If sorry, update domain means if you have any like a shutdown, any performance, like destroyed your VM, then that this the update domains will helpful. Next, not only this availability comes under, you'll have availability setting, but also you will have a availability zone thing. So availability zone is nothing but this availability set at the range of racks, right? But that availability zone is at the level of data center. If one center is failure, then it will provide another data center, or instead of that, at the times of failures. That is nothing but availability zones. So this gives an service level agreement of 99.5, this availability set, whereas that availability zone gives 19.95, 19.99 percentage of SLA agreement, right? So that will gives better availability. So use those two availabilities while creating VM. That will help you in the times of failures. So that is not availability set. This fault domains and default you have to select. Next, image. If you want to create a Linux VM, then you have to select Ubuntu server, and if you want to create Red Hat thing, you can create Red Hat. So that thing, next sizes, you can give what type of size you want for that Linux VM. You can select based upon the monthly cost. You can see this, like how many CPUs we want, how many memory we want. So these things. Next, we have this administration account where we have this SSH key. One more advantage of this Linux, where SSH key can be automatically generated by this Azure. Like you only have to give the username and you have to give the these things like generate new pair. Then that will generate. If you are already having any key stored in Azure, then you can use that thing also. You can have to give the key name pair, so that will give the value of that key. So if you're not familiar of SSH secure shell C public key, then you can use password like how you have created in the Windows thing. You can create. So all these things I have discussed in while creating in a Windows Azure, Windows virtual machine in Azure. Similar things we'll see here, but a slight difference. This SSH public key, which is not present in the Windows thing, so it is present here. Next, inbound rules. If you want to select any ports like that, you can allow SSH port. Here in this Windows we have this secure cell port, but not RDP, whereas in Windows we have this RDP. And next, HTTP, TP is default things which we have. And next, coming to the next tab, next plane of that things is disks. We have these disks. Next, go to disks. Here we have disk. We have D drive, that we have the premium SSD and standard SSD and standard HDD, which is best for production. So different type of things are best for different things. So select based upon your requirement. And next, encryption type we have. And coming to this advanced things, we have this load balancer. Sorry, managed disks, where we have this, we can manage disks. Like unmanaged disk will be there and managed disk will be there. If you select this use managed disk, then you will have an ability to manage your disk after creation of virtual machine. Like you can add your disks and you can remove the already present disk. Likewise the things, if your requirement is there, you can add a more disk to this already defined disk. So networking, coming to networking, as we discussed, virtual machine should have this network interface and subnet and virtual network and NSG. So all this which you want, you can specify here. You can create a new networks, and if you have already created a virtual network, you can use those network. You will have a service for each and everything separately. You can go to that service and you can create, and you can use that name here, or otherwise you can directly create here also. So in network security groups, you can have three types of things, that is basic, none, and advanced. You can select as you require. And for networking group also, you will have inbound ports, like what traffic should be allowed, like inboard ports you can select. And next we have this load balancing thing, where the virtual machine should have this load balancing, like um, filtering the traffic. If in the times of heavy traffic, how should be the balancing of load will be done. So if you enable this part, you will ask for what type of a load settings you want, like a application gateway you want, or load balance settings you want. The both are two different things. This is for HTTP or web trafficking. This is for TCP or UDP network trafficking. So if you want to select Azure load balancer, then you can select. And if you have already created Azure load balancer, you have to use that. So here is, you can't create a new load balancer, so you have to go for load balancer service. Here we have load balancer service. Then create a load balancer and use that name here. And if you want to give a application gateway, you have to search for the application gateway service, and you can create that application service, and you can give the name of that, so that you will Linux VM will have this load balancing settings in that. And next we have this one more thing, is management thing, where you can manage that boot diagnostic. You can disable that. We can also enable with the manage storage account, like we have seen now with that. The diagnostic should be logged into a storage account, where you can store that logs in a storage account. So you can give that to the manager storage account. You can recommend, mostly recommend this. We have to store the, otherwise what is the use of giving this boot diagnostics? Or we can disable, no need of the diagnostic, you can disable. So these are things which are present. If you have any identity, you can use that, or they should Active Directory login things, in the place of security, you can use. Then you can have an option called auto shutdown. You can shut down after the particular time, likewise. And coming to advanced tab, we have this advanced like extensions and custom data and user data. Coming to extensions was nothing but you can give an EM some extensions, like after post deployment or configuration or automation, it will give that additional things in your virtual machine. And you will have this custom data. If you want to write any custom data into that, so you can mention here, so that will create a some space, and it will store in some particular noun location in your VM. So next, user data, where we have this hosting. These are not required things, they're advanced things which you can use. So next we have this tax concept. Similarly for the resource group, how it is used for billing, and to identify the resource in a very quick manner, you can use this tax. This is nothing very key value pair, where you can have a key and value. So based upon this, you can retrieve the resources, and you can give the billing purpose similarly. So if you are in one organization, then it help us to uh, billing purpose. For billing purpose, there are many resources which are related to which category, like what department, so that will be confusion. So at the times of big organization, use these tags to identify and differentiate all these department things. So now, as of now, no need of tags and anything. Then after all completing all these things, you can go for review and create, so that it will review all the details which you have given and give the cost of things and everything. If you are okay with that all the things, you can just create. So that create tab, if will be enabled after review and create, it will give the validation. If your validation is successful, then only it will enable your create button. Otherwise, so it will not give you create button. You again have to check on the all the things. You can get to know that what the things we have to mention. So this is nothing but creating VM in your virtual machine. So already I have created Ubuntu virtual machine, like getting a green color validation. Okay, and then I create, then deployment will happen. It will take few minutes of time. So next, after deployment, you will go to resource. The button will become here. Go to after going to resource, you will get like this, the name which you have given, and what are the properties of virtual machine we have. For every virtual machine, you have all these properties, like overview will be there. This is the overview which you are in. Connect, your virtual machine is connected, you can connect through this button, or you are having any public. If you start on this, public button will come, public IP address will become. You can copy that public IP address, and you can use that through the PowerShell. You can connect for SSL. And next, start, stop, restart. We have seen all these things. If you want to delete this resource, you can delete. Refresh this resource, you can refresh. So subscriptions, all the details will be there, which you have specified there. And next, tags we have given, that will be there, and networking things, and connect disks will be there, how disks are given. So if you are given managed disks, then you can add one more disk to here. So next is sizes, the security will be there, and advisor recommendations and extensions if you have added, then that will be there. Continuous availability plus scaling and configuration. If you want to configure anything, then you can configure here. And next, identity properties, and if you want to give any locks, you can give. Auto shutdown, if you have given, that will be there, and backup will be there. So IaaS means like backup things will be there. One is the advantage of this IaaS infrastructure service, and disaster recovery is there. Operations is also operations inventory, change tracking, configuration management, policies, run command. So application, coming to monitoring, you will have insights, alerts, metrics. Coming to application insights, what these insights will do means recommendations, and any security threats we have, this that will comes under these alerts and everything. So if you want the template of this, you can go to this automation where you have this export template. Then you will get a template of this particular thing, then you can copy this template. You can, if you want the same thing, you want to replicate of this virtual machine, then you can use this template. By this template, you can create another virtual machine of the same type. So all these things will be the properties of the virtual machine we have created. So some things are changeable, and some things we can't change those things. So resource health and boot diagnostics, we have enabled that. Resetting password and all these things will be there. So as of now, these all things are not required, as we created these things are there. You can start and stop, and refresh and capture, and delete things. So this is how we created a Linux VM. Previously, we have created a Windows VM. If you haven't watched those video, you have to watch both that video. So you will find out the differences between Linux and Ubuntu. The similar short things will be different, but entire things are same. So I think everyone is clear with these things. Now Azure portal we have seen. Just revise the things what we have seen. First, we have to log in with the Azure account which we are having. Just a Microsoft account is enough for coming into portal, like portal.azure.com. By using this Azure thing, you can log in through. And next, what means you will have next we have to have any subscription, that may be a free subscription or paid as you go subscription. So once you have all these things, get started with creating a virtual machine. With the services, you have to search for virtual machine. In the virtual machine, you have to create a virtual machine, and the basic steps you have to select for subscription and resource group. Virtual machine, any name you have to give, and next region we have to give, and availability split is no need to give all the times. For practice purpose, no need of availability options all there. Images you have to select, and size you have to select. And username, where you have this SSH option, where it will defaultly generate a new key pair. So my new key pair your name you have to give, that will generate. And next, you have to import rules, public import you have to allow selected, and HTTP port 80 in the drop down list, so that will create it. So no need of all the other things, you can give all the things as default, and then go for review and create at the bottom of the page. Then that will be created. So after creating, your page will be like this, like as shown, Linux things you will get like this, all the details of that. So you will get IP address. Based upon that IP address, you have to copy that IP address, and then you have to open by using SSH shell in your virtual machine. SSH minus I, you have to give the name and the IP address. Then your virtual machine is keep on running. Then you have to install this. Coming to Windows, we have seen install that IIS server, but in Linux we don't have IIS servers, not available. So Nginx is the server which we use for Linux. So install that Nginx, you will get the Nginx view like this, whereas IIS server is different from that. So after doing all these things, you have to clean up the resource. If there is no longer need of that resource, there is no point to have that resource keep on running. So by deleting, that will cost you not cost you that much. If your virtual machine is running, that will cost you more from your subscription. So not only from portal, you can also create your Linux machine from CLI, as you create a Windows virtual machine from CLI. Like you have to launch that Azure Cloud Shell. In Azure Cloud Shell is this thing. which is present after the search bar. In this Azure Cloud Shell, you will have two options. That is, one is Bash and other is a PowerShell. So coming to Bash is used mostly for Linux users. Coming to PowerShell, PowerShell is used by Windows user. So with the both the things you can create your virtual machine. Like some commands will be different, whereas in CLI it will be AZ group create. First you have to create a resource group. Use this command. After that resource group, you have to use that resource group for creating Azure VM. So AZ VM create, and you have to specify all these options. Then that will give output as this. So this is the thing we get. So IP address is getting. Now you have to open the port 80 for traffic. So open that open port like port 80. You have to specify these things for SSH connection. Next, after opening that port, you have to use SSH username and the IP address which you got, so that you are logging into your Linux VM which you have created. Now you have to install web server for that. So in the sudo apt get -y update and next install Nginx. So after the installation everything is done, you can exit that SSH section. So your output will be like this: Nginx, welcome to Nginx. Of all this, after doing all these things, you have to clean up the resources. You can do directly in Linux portal, or you can also do that thing in the Azure CLI, that is AZ group create. So by using this command you can delete. So these things we can do by using this Azure CLI. This CLI is mainly used to manage the resources, either to create or manage. We can use not only for the Azure CLI, but also you can do with the same things with the PowerShell also the same things, but commands will be different for all the similar. See, launch the cell, and here you can see for creating SSH pair you have to use this SSH key generation of key. You have to use some similar thing will be different in the coming to PowerShell. Next you have to give a resource group. In that the command will be different. Here you can see new AZ resource group is the command you have to create use in the PowerShell. Now creating a virtual machine by using these following things: Azure, PowerShell. Once go through all these things. If you don't know all these things, you can skip this. You can directly create by using the Azure portal. Just knowing that these are all options also present while creating Azure virtual machine. Connecting to the virtual machine by using this command: get AZ public IP address. Next, SSH bash will be opened, username, and with the public IP address you can use. Next you can install Nginx in your Linux. So web server will be like this, Nginx. And next of all, you have to clean up the resources by using this remove. Whereas in there we have this delete something, but in PowerShell the command is different. Remove ancient resource group. Not only this CLI portal or PowerShell, you can also create your virtual machine using this ARM template. As we discussed that in the previous thing, import template is the option there after creating any virtual machine. Then you will get a template here. So you can use the template here if you want to create another virtual machine, or if you want to create another type of virtual machine from ARM template, you also can do. So ARM template, where you can see, means deploy a template, custom template of this service, where you can search in the search bar. Then you will have a create a Linux machine is the common templates where everyone uses Linux, Windows, and web app, SQL database, and Azure Landing Zone. So you can also create your own template, and here you can create your own. So otherwise, having default things you can use. So how to write template, all these things you have to go through before getting started. If there is any mistake, then you can't get into those things. These are the already present Linux template. So these are the things, parameters you have to mention: username, authentication type, password, metadata, like versions, what will be there in the Ubuntu. These versions are there, which version you want, you have to specify there. Locations, you have to specify VM size, virtual network name, subnet name, network security group you have to mention. So all these things you have to mention. Network security group is the filter that will stop the undesired traffic to your virtual machine. So likewise, these are all comes under security groups. So I think everyone know about those things. So this is nothing but a template. By using template also you can create your virtual machine. So these are the steps for creating AVM. These are the things you have to know about while creating ARM. ARM means Azure Resource Management. You can manage this by using templates also. That is nothing but ARM template. So these things you have to know while using these things, like subscription, resource group, location, username. And authentication type, passport or key, DNS label, prefix, Ubuntu OS, which version you want. Location, VM size, virtual network name, subnet, and virtual security group. Of all this, after selecting of all these things, you have to create and review. After create, after creating, you can deploy your resources so that you can use your Linux VM. So after doing all these things, you have to clean up the resources which you don't need no longer. So that will cost you less, and that will help us to get your billing at low price. So select that. If not only deleting that particular resource, you can go to particular VM. You can go to resource group, and you can delete all the resources at once. That will help you your time. So these are the things which I want to discuss in this video, like how to create a Linux VM and what are the things you have to remember while creating a Linux VM. So I think everyone is clear with these things, all the things we have discussed right now. So if you have any doubts regarding to this Linux VM creating in the Azure, feel free to comment in the comment section, and I will definitely reply to your comments as soon as possible. So if you like this video, give a big thumbs up below, and subscribe this channel and share this video to your friends or colleagues, so that will help you. I'm not using heavy terminology, and most of the Azure videos will be on English and high technology and terminology they are using. So I'm using the basic things. I'm giving the brief introduction about what are the services Azure is providing. Previously, I have made some videos, so watch those videos. And if you have any doubts regarding to those videos, feel free to comment. And if you have also having any suggestions, you can feel free to give me any suggestions so that I will improve and give better lectures in the upcoming videos. So give any suggestions without any hesitation. So I'm not any professional in this Azure. I'm just learning things in the previous months. So I'm expressing the things which I have learned to my friends and colleagues. So I thought to upload in the YouTube, so that will help others to also for getting basic idea about the things with the simple English. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give a big thumbs up below, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for many more updates. Click the bell icon below to get notified each time when we upload a new video. Bye bye.